Django, Django.
You have now entered the lab with Elvis Escobar, Fort Salma, episode 23. We just got done with a weekend full of Game 7s. If you're a sports fan out there, it felt like a March Madness Part 2, basically, with all the, one win you go home, win lose you go home, win you advance. So hockey was growing on me, and we'll get into that. NBA has been, hockey. Question mark. NBA obviously had a great first round. Even you can make a case even a better second round as far as the quality of competition and things going Game 7s. We got some extracurriculars as far as music, some wild news and what's going on in the world as per usual. Where are you, Fort Sama? Obviously, we can't tell by your background. We got the same background right now, which is lovely.
Hey,
this is nice. Unison. I'm changing some things up in the lab. So where are you at? Tell us about your day and your kind of situation going on.
Well, this week it was my turn to get out on the road and hit the hotel room for the casting to get our money up for the pod. Last time we recorded a few weeks ago, Ray was in the hotel room. I'm in the hotel room this week. I'm in Greenville, North Carolina, man. I'm literally like in the sticks. The only thing that's out here is ECU, Eastern Carolina University. That's about it. I'm here till like Thursday night. Friday morning, I fly back to Georgia. I just came out here for some work stuff, man. Like it was good though. I'm enjoying it so far. I just got here a few hours ago. As soon as I got to the telly, I hit the gym. Got to get my workout in. It was only 50 minutes, but straight. And I don't really know what I'm going to be doing. It's just kind of like an orientation. They call it Welcome Week. Stuff like that. Everyone raves about it. They all say it's cool stuff. So I'm excited just to, little change of scenery. I love North Carolina, man. North Carolina is like one of my favorite states that I go to. Like, I just love it here. I don't know why.
I used to go there as a kid, like when I was super young, like 10, 11, 12. That's the only memory I've had of it. I basically have no memory of it. But North Carolina, born and raised up. Take your shirt off, twist around your head, spinning like a helicopter. Petey Pablo, shut up. Anyway. So that's good that you're growing, you're learning. Hopefully, you learn some things, and you don't get into any trouble in another state.
Hey,
I got warrants.
I got warrants. I don't want no warrants, bro. I don't want no warrants. No kind of warrants. Any warrants are bad. I'm good on that. So good.
So we will wait on the talk about Game 7s. Because it was, like I said, if you're a sports junkie like we are, you had a great weekend. It was a lot of fun, whether it was on the court, off the court. But what do you want to lead off with? I know we talked a little bit about it. This subject dropped right after we got off of episode 22.
Bro, of course it does. Like,
so
it
seems
like every time we do something, like crazy shit pops up the next day. I'm like, fuck. Like, shit, man. Young Thug, Gunna, YSL. Bro, 56 counts, RICO charges. Look, man, that's crazy to me. Like, you got to do better, bro. Like, once you, honestly, once you make it to, where they're at, bro, just get off the streets, bro. Like, I know it's tough. I know you want to give back to your community. I know you want to be involved. I know you want to do all that kind of shit, but, at some point, you need to have people that are doing that shit for you. Like, you can't be the face of all that shit. Like, this man was renting cars from Hertz and going to murder motherfuckers. Like, bro, what are you doing, bro?
Allegedly.
Like, what are you doing, man? They got recorded phone calls. This dude calling everyone, like, pussies. Like, you didn't shoot them. You didn't beat them up. Like,
oh, I didn't see all these details.
Bro,
they have, text messages and shit?
Bro, they were just working this case up for the last 5 years.
Yeah, so give it a little background for, let's assume nobody knows what you're talking about.
It's Young Thug.
In your best way of describing it, doesn't have to be literal or reading an article.
88 count indictment. There's 26 others. Young Slime Life, YSL. It was Monday, May 9th. bro. Like I
So the
said,
main
RICO,
headliners of that is who? Young Thug and Gunna, right?
Young Thug and Gunna, yeah. And like I said, RICO. If you don't know what
Live
RICO
by
is,
it, die by it, I guess
racketeer,
they say.
yeah, influence and corrupt organizations, murder, armed robbery, and just criminal gang activity. Dude, they had so many cop cars outside this man's house in Buckhead. It was funny how they said it. They're like Atlanta police and a lot others. Like, this man probably had the FBI, the DEA, like everyone was outside his house. Like, that's a rude awakening. It's a rude awakening, bro.
Scary. But I heard that, obviously we know how the FBI works. Usually they wait and build that case. So if they are coming for you, they usually got something
They
legit on
got it,
you.
bro.
It's
Yeah,
not like a theory. They actually have hardcore evidence. But also there's a lot of technicalities with these things where, I've looked into, getting into things like The Sopranos and other like documentaries and stuff where the word RICO is thrown out a lot and people don't know what it means. And I'm newly educated to it, where obviously they try what they try to do is tie a lot of things that may or may not have to do with each other together so they can have a bigger case. So that's what a lot of people were saying early on, was like, just because one thing is connected doesn't mean something else is, but that's what they did. It's going to be interesting. It's either nothing, right? It's like it's a black and white for me. It's either something that's nothing and they'll pay lawyers and it'll go on for a year or two and they'll get off easy, or this is fucking horrible and bad for them and not good. It's not the middle. I don't think there's no middle ground with this.
No. And it's funny that you mentioned The Sopranos because of course, they were talking on Twitter. Twitter just doesn't care about anyone. Like, no, they care about no one's well-being. They don't care if you got a family, like whatnot. They just go in on everyone. And they were like, yo, Tony Soprano really shut down those RICO charges. He had them motherfuckers go back to fighting terrorism. Like,
I seen that tweet.
that shit was hilarious. But yeah, no, I mean, I agree with what you're saying. They definitely have some shit because, like, it's some shit built up and they better hire the right lawyers. And there was some shit saying that they had this man just stuck in there in a cell with no window, with nothing for 23 hours out of the day. Like, it don't matter what, I mean, it's just, you shouldn't do that to another human. Like, I get it. Like, they may be involved in some nasty stuff and some stuff that, we don't like to hear about. But at the end of the day, bro, like, he's a person too. And he shouldn't be have to dealing with this. And I really hope they don't get Lil Baby. Because there's some stuff about 4PF, 4 Pockets Full about it too. And if they lock up Lil Baby, bro, I'm not gonna listen to music no more because I can't. Like, nah, don't lock up my dog, bro. Please don't.
It's just wild that all, I consider all three, or, obviously Young Thug was one of the first ones. The first time I heard him was in Boston and his hit with Rich Homie Quan, and that was a huge record. What's the name of that record? Not Best Life.
The one that just came out a little bit ago.
Back in the day, 2013 type shit. I was living in Boston, and the man again. It was a hit record, dog.
The other day. Yeah.
I didn't understand any of the lyrics, but it was fire. And then I got into Young Thug after, and then obviously Gunna signed to Young Thug, and you got affiliations with other rappers. So if they take down this whole this whole group, we got a lot of music missing.
Yeah, bro,
there's a lot of opportunity for other rappers to touch these airwaves.
But no one's gonna do it, bro. Like, it's just like they're already solidified. Like, bro, man, like, if one had to go, like, take Gunna, bro. Like, don't take Lil Baby, man. Like, fuck, this dude does not miss.
No, Lil Baby is nice. I think after it was last week. I think after we recorded, I go into like artist essentials a lot on music, because I'll just be like, all right, I feel a vibe. Like, I'll do Future Essentials, and I just want to only listen to that artist. I did Lil Baby Essentials the other day, and it was a good way to start my morning for sure.
He be sliding, dog. Like, he just switches flows so crazy. Like, man, he's nasty. He's probably one of my favorite rappers right now. And just, nah, bro, take someone else. Like, I don't know. Take 6ix9ine back. At this
Anybody,
point,
take
bro.
my eyes. We'll see what's
Shit.
going on with that. But, not much to talk about because we don't know. There's so much
Yeah.
unknown, but definitely worth mentioning because of the music that we like, the music that we know most of the people who listen to the podcast like. And it's just one of those situations where
That
it's either, like I said, it's either really bad or not much will come from this
Yeah.
and they'll figure it out.
that one video that we talked about was funny too, where the reporter was like, "Oh, one name I didn't see on the list was Jack Harlow," and the lady's like, we don't really know who's involved or
Yeah,
whatnot, but
he was trolling.
like
Had to be.
trolling so hard, bro. She handled it well, but like out of all people, you pick Jack Harlow, bro. You know Jack Harlow ain't shooting no guns or he ain't doing no gang activities.
That's funny. And obviously speaking about music as a good segue, we'll jump right into Kendrick album. Obviously dropped on
Bro.
Friday. Did you have a little bit of issues listening to it? Because when it dropped at midnight, it didn't drop on my
It didn't
iTunes
drop.
music.
Nah, I didn't see
Okay,
it. It was
and then
gone.
I
Like
seen when I
the
woke up the
album would
next
show up,
morning.
but the songs
Yeah.
weren't there. Yeah.
Then I woke up the next morning and still it wouldn't show up for me. And then I did some refreshing and whatever. But Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers dropped right away. What's your first impressions? Talk to me about your side. I'll talk about my side. And big up because this is personally my favorite artist of all time. Well, second to probably Jay-Z and kind of Drake and J. Cole in that conglomerate. But it's Jay-Z and Kendrick for me personally.
Yeah. Dude, this album for me, bro, like I've had it on repeat, and I can't say that about a Kendrick album since the debut, Good Kid, Mad City. And bro, like this album literally has everything. Like it's not gonna be something that you're gonna go to the club and they're gonna play and you're gonna vibe to and bump to and just be faded. Like that's not what it's gonna be. It's not gonna be an album that you like ride around and get lit to. Like nah, like this kind of shit. Like you have to sit down and listen to it, and like there's some real intense shit in there that there's no other way that you can appreciate it unless you're actually like sitting down and really paying attention to what he's saying. And that's just how Kendrick's always been. And for a while, I wasn't in that state of mind that I wanted to sit down and listen to someone like for real talk or like preach, because he's not really like this dude is preaching on that shit.
Yep.
And I couldn't really relate to the kind of music that he was making before because I'm not what Kendrick is, so I can't sit there and be like, yeah, bro, like, that's
actually
how I feel
ironically, you probably, not to cut you off, you probably relate to Kendrick more than other rappers only because he's big into like he doesn't smoke, he don't really drink that much, he's kind of like isolated, and that's kind of more your personality. I heard you bring that. I watched back the last episode and I heard you say that, and it made me think. I'm like, you're probably more relatable to him than any other artist you listen to.
This album, like that's all I'm listening to, bro. Like, and like I kind of made a joke about it in the chat. I'm like, well, this man had 5 years to make something, So in that way, like, yeah, you got to drop some fire if you got 5 years. But
yeah,
at the same time, like people in the chat said, our boy Rob was like, he didn't want to drop something just to drop it. Like that's not who Kendrick is. That's never been how he carries himself. And I'm bro, that's probably why I like it so much, because just the anticipation building up and just waiting for something. And he didn't disappoint, bro. Like I could just put that bitch on shuffle and like just go, bro. Like I'm vibing to it. I don't care. That shit's so fire.
Yeah, no, my expectations of it, I think it met immediately because I don't like to expect anything from Kendrick because his first album, Good Kid, Mad City, was I'm gonna use the word commercialized, but I don't mean it in derogatory sense like we talked about it in. It means more just radio hits, more player friendly things. Most of the album people could listen to and vibe with. And then his albums progressed to Pimp a Butterfly, Damn, and this one. He's not caring about a radio hit. He's not caring about how many streams each one gets. He's putting out full projects, full art. You hit play and you don't touch it the rest because you're going to feel the whole, like, To Pimp a Butterfly took was probably a culture shock for most people because that was his second album. So I can't imagine listening to Kendrick for the first time for Good Kid, Mad City, and then listen to Pimp a Butterfly, and then it's way different of a
So
turn.
different. So different.
But
That's why, like, bro, what is this? Like, what am I
yeah,
listening to? Like, I couldn't do it.
and I'll be honest, when that came out, it took me like at least minimum 3 times, but I probably put 3 to 5 times to really like not understand it, because I'm not trying to like be like, oh my God, I found God when I listened to him. No, I like it took that many times just to kind of understand and hear things, because you listen to things over and over, you don't hear it the same, or if you're in a different situation. So this album, out of probably the other 3, second album, third album, fourth one, this one captivated me more immediately than the other 3 did. Not including Good Kid, Mad City, just because I kind of, I guess, got used to what I expected, or I kind of lowered my expectations and I kind of open-minded, but it's got hit records on it. Without trying to
Yeah.
be hit record and trying to be radio friendly, he's got songs that could play. He's got at least 3 or 4 songs guaranteed that could play on the record and on the radio. Not that matters, because it doesn't. The radio doesn't
That's
matter.
not what
But
he's even looking for either.
but to get other people understanding, like, obviously, like Vito said, Vito's more hit friendly, radio jams, played in a car. He wants to vibe out. He's not going to listen to a song that's low beat, very wordy, and that's fine. Not everybody listens to music differently. Everybody watches movies differently. It's kind of like whatever you prefer in that art. But it gets a 9. I'm not going to give it a 10 out of 10, but it gets a 9 out of 10, 9.5, just because it definitely captivated me quicker than I thought. That's basically what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, no, for me, it was, I wasn't really sure what I was going to expect, because I've been critical of Kendrick for the last few years. Like, I'm sure, like, you could search my @ on Twitter and type in Kendrick, and it's going to be, after 2013, it's going to be bad things. But I was just, bro, like, I was listening to it at work, and we've been building a bunch of machines, so I've had time to really just sit there and actually listen to it. And this man is spitting straight bars, bro. Like, just the change in the songs is crazy. Like,
Yeah.
And he keeps the flow. And bro, like N95, like that shit, like he's spitting the last 90 seconds of that song is like just pure, like raw emotion, like just straight. Like, I'm just sitting there listening to it, and I just go back and run it back because it's so crazy to me. And then you sent me the video.
And the fact that he blessed us with a video for visuals, amazing.
I'm watching this video. I'm like, bro, like, he's talking about like the president. He's talking about, like controlling everything. Like, I'm gonna do y'all like Jigga. Like, bro, he's just like, and then, bro, there's like, I'm looking at it now, bro. He's like, "Hello, new world." Like, he's just letting everyone know.
This is
what
little
really
things
is,
like that.
Bro. And then he had Kodak on it, bro. Like,
the fact, bro, Kodak was the biggest surprise, and I love it because, like, back in the, it's funny because as technology has evolved, we used to get leaks on albums. We got like no leaks. Like, I'm not saying I'm in the realm where back in the day, I used to have websites that I used to share leaks and stuff. Yeah, I used to be on all those blog sites. And now I'm not, but things don't get leaked anymore. The fact that I opened up that album and I saw Kodak Black, and I heard Kodak Black in an interlude, like in the, I think it's number 3, the Worldwide Steppers. And then I was like, oh, okay, Kodak Black is on it. That's cool. And then I didn't know he was on a song. And then the song came on. I go, I never thought Kodak Black and Kendrick made sense before, but that song is exactly what I would picture the song being, right?
Bro, dog,
it's
that
amazing.
Shit, that was greatness.
Pompano.
954. That, I love that song too. But I think one of my favorite songs on that shit is Die Hard. I sent it to you as soon as I heard it. Like, that shit, that beat, like everything about it. Like, I'm over here like cooking, like taking my vitamins and shit after my workout and whatnot. I'm just vibing and dancing and like, bro, that shit. Like, the thing. This is how I know this is a good album. This is a good album, and this is shit I can vibe to. Because when you send in songs to women, You got something right. Like I
For
could
real.
never before send a Kendrick album to a girl and be like, yo, this shit is smooth. Yo, listen to this shit. But on
What's
this
your
album,
feedback on the women's side? Because I haven't heard many women's or ladies' side of it. Other than Bree and Bree vibes within whatever. Because I've kind of forced Kendrick to her. But what's your random group chats or I'm
shit.
interested to know that.
I mean, just I sent the Die Hard one, and then I haven't really sent the We Cry Together to no one yet because that shit's
Don't
too.
send it. Yeah.
I'm not going. I'm not going that dark road.
It's
But like,
aggressive, but it's got some poetic and some cinema involved. Like it's not a song you want to play in your car and loud. It's not a song you want to play loud at all. Maybe
no,
know when it's coming and turn it down a little bit. But if you're by yourself wanting to listen to something, listening to the words, and everybody in a relationship, past, present, or future,
has
will
been
be able
through
to
that.
relate to it.
Yeah,
100%.
yeah. But bro, just like man, like, and he got like Summer Walker on there too. Like the women love Summer Walker.
Yeah, not too
I
many
mean,
big features. Obviously, there's big features when they're there, but he usually gets some good quality artists that are up and coming or kind of behind the scenes type, women and men wise. But to kind of put a bow on it, I did want to show off this. I was gonna post it, but I'll wait.
I seen that.
Um,
So
yeah,
fire, bro. She
fucking
snapped.
Kelsey
She snapped
Spicone
on
now
that
officially
for real.
gave this to me. I'm trying to zoom in on it. It's a whole page, but you can't. Oh, there
Yeah,
you go. Kind of see.
yeah.
Yeah, she gave this to me. She did it the other day. She did a Post Malone one, and I
Did she?
think
What did she do it with?
I don't. I mean, I wouldn't even want to even talk on it because I would get the tools wrong. But I'll ask her for next time. But she did a Post Malone one, and it got some, and she tracked it. I think somebody sent it to somebody. Somebody sent it to the mother of Post Malone, and then it got back to him and shit. So I think he knows
Nice.
it exists, and she just did that kind of like
That's
real
sick.
quick, and then she did the Kendrick one. She gave it to me. I'm gonna put it in a nice frame. I got that, and from 2011 when I met him,
Nice. Yep. Yep.
I got this. So what
Fire.
I'm gonna do is I'm gonna frame that picture. I got the hat that he signed. I told him to write Compton on it because it's an LA Raider hat.
Yep.
So I came
Hell yeah.
preparing circa 2011. I think it was
Dude.
actually 11/11 when I got that signed too. Me and my boy
What?
Phil
That's
went
fire.
into the city before he had an album out. Met him. There was like 20 people there. I remember being mad because nobody was there for a meet and greet. I was like, everybody should be here. Why? I remember
real.
saying those words like, everybody should be here. Why? So I'm gonna put that in a frame, and the hat. I'm gonna have a nice little setup. So appreciate.
Yeah.
Shout out Kelsey for
I
drawing
just,
that up
bro,
for
like
me.
I'll never forget seeing him in West Boca. I think this was like 2013, 2014. It was him, Pusha T, and Kid Ink. And bro, like he did good, Kid, Mad City, and like I was running through that album like on repeat. That was all I listened to when that shit came out, and for a minute. So I knew all the songs, and like I have videos. There's somewhere on Facebook, and that was like, bro, like I'll never forget that concert because that man put on a show. That shit was nuts, and like I needed. If he tours in Florida or some shit, like we're out. Like we're in
Oh
that
yeah.
bitch for
I
this
seen the only
fucking
time he's
album.
coming to Florida or South Florida is Rolling Loud. So I guess he's doing like a joint thing, which I do have a connect with Rolling Loud, which if I want to invest the mental and physical capacity to go into something like that, because it's
See,
wild. I
bro,
don't know if
I'm
I
not.
want to, but if I could get a connect where I could get there just for Kendrick and then leave, like you know what I mean, like or not
It'll be
just for him,
cool.
but I could go there for 2 or 3 hours and leave. I don't have to do a whole day thing. I'm gonna
Yeah,
utilize that asset.
it'll be cool, man. Honestly, just seeing him, but I feel like for this album, like I just need like a solo concert. Like I can't like
No, you're right.
because Rolling Loud takes away from like they're only
It
gonna do
does.
like the hits and whatnot, and it's
Yeah,
too much
it's
going
not
on
a
there,
full
bro.
production how they
Yeah,
want it. It's more like a guest spot, a guest appearance. You're hopping in, you're doing your 20 minutes. Maybe they give him an hour. Maybe they do. I'll have to see and do some maybe because he's putting this into his tour, they do give him his own stage and production. So I wouldn't be surprised if they give him maybe an allotted 2 hours. I
yeah.
wouldn't be surprised at that. So
Did you see him playing soccer in Ghana?
I seen him in Ghana. I didn't see him literally playing soccer, but I seen he's He knows his roots. He knows his background. He's always shouted out Compton, where he's from. He's always shouted out where his ancestors from. The dude's got character, great personality. I don't know him personally. I sound like a groupie. I sound like a super fan. But when you follow around, I guess somebody in these
Bro,
days, for
you've been
10
listening to him
years,
for more than 10 years.
that's what
bro.
I mean.
Like,
When you follow around
yeah.
somebody and everything that they say in an interview, everything they rap about, and how they live, when that all matches up, you know you're a person of character. So the fact that he hasn't been around for 5 years and he said he got writer's block and he wasn't inspired and this and that, life is going on. He raised the
What do you
family.
say,
He's got a
like
couple kids,
18,
I think. So
like 1,865 days or something? Like,
yeah, like
yeah.
hey, I'm not gonna put out music if I'm not inspired, and that's a sign of a true artist. But wrapping it up, if you haven't listened to the whole Kendrick album, go listen to it. Stop this podcast, go listen to it, come
listen
back,
to it, bro.
DM us your feedback, because you won't be disappointed, because if you don't like the whole album, 1 through whatever, 16 tracks, 18, whatever it is, you'll definitely walk away with 5 that you'll fall in love with.
At least, bro.
Yeah. Shout out
At
Kendrick
least
Lamar. K dot. So yeah, game 7s. We had a whole weekend of game 7s. We'll start off NBA. Let's dive into the most talked about series. We'll touch on it briefly, kind of on the court, off the court a little bit. Go ahead. You posted Luka Doncic. You posted the prediction more than 2 weeks ago.
Bro,
talk to us.
Look, before I get into it, I need a Luka Doncic jersey ASAP. That's happening. I'm going to wear it on the pod as soon as I get it. But he was the best player in the series going in. Don't give me that Chris Paul talk. Don't give me that Devin Booker talk. Like, this dude, Luka Doncic, you really have to sit down and watch him play basketball. We're just talking about Kendrick Lamar. This dude is Kendrick Lamar on the basketball court. I don't care. Hot take at me.
That's a good
whatever you got to say, bro.
He's an artist on the court.
My cousin DM'd me after, because my whole Instagram story was just straight Luka Doncic last night. And he's like, how does this dude do it? Like, he doesn't look athletic. He's slow. Like, he's white. So, like, how is he doing this shit? And I think it's just different. He's just a different style of player. This dude's been playing in the pro since he was 16, 17 in Europe. He said it's easier to get buckets here than it is in Europe. They just literally did what they had to do. They won their games at home. Jason Kidd, bro. Jason Kidd, man. Holy fuck. Like, holy fuck. I said limit Chris Paul. Guess what they did? They limited Chris Paul. This dude had more turnovers than assists for a few games. The role players showed up. Fucking Dinwiddie last night, bro. What? 30? 30 piece in a game 7? Jalen Brunson was doing his thing. All the other guys showed up when they needed to. And, bro, I knew that shit was over when it was 8-3. I hadn't even put the game on. I opened my ESPN app. I saw it was 8-3, and he had all the 8 points. And then I saw how he was doing it. I was like, yeah, this shit a wrap. Like, it's over. This dude was hitting buckets and, like, running back
laughing.
To play defense.
He knew it was a revenge series for him. He felt disrespected by the players, maybe he had that chip on his shoulder, and that boy.
Like I said, man,
everything.
you get that first playoff win. Even in football, you get that first win out. Like, you don't have anyone talking about, oh, can he win a series? Oh, can he lead a team to a victory? Oh, can he do this? Can he do that? You get that one, you can do whatever after that. No one's saying anything else because that's
now the next talk is Eastern or Conference Finals. After you get off the snide of the first series win, then it's all right. You haven't got to a conference finals, and then we talk finals. Baby steps, but. Shit, he won series away.
Bro, he was doing 40 a game, bro. This man had 8 rebounds in the first half as a guard, bro. Like, who's doing that? Like, I just watched this man play, and I love watching him play, bro. Like, there's no one. I was texting Cheese, Jake, as I'm watching this game. I'm standing up, not even sitting down. Like, I'm watching Luka play as if I'm watching a Heat game. This man just does whatever he wants. He was posting 8 and up, doing spin around 3-pointers, step back. Like, come on, bro. Like, they're going to beat the Warriors.
Yeah, that shit was over early. I mean, at the end of the day, if this was 2 weeks ago or even a week ago, I'd be like, boy, you crazy. You're on some PCP. And give me that
stuff. You're
going
to beat the Warriors, dog.
That's wild. in this day and age where when you have a special player versus a better team, man, leaning on that special player, take that more times than not because you're probably going to be right. It just that special player could just get it done. Will his team make his team better? And Luka does make people better because he's not one. He could do everything. He could do everything. And that I text you in the second quarter. I was like, Dallas is playing that defense. So it wasn't like they were just scoring only. They were locking down. Phoenix was dribbling around the 3-point area and couldn't advance the ball past the line, the 3-point line. I was like, whoa, that's how you know a defense is legit. When they're passing around the perimeter and every time a one-on-one situation comes up and they can't advance 5-10 feet, that means that defense came to play that game.
Bro, and you got, like I said, Jason Kidd on the sidelines. Baseline, trap, go. Like, just yelling in your ear, bro. Like,
J-Kidd.
That shit, I mean, dude, like, I was just so happy to watch that because the phrase poking the bear gets thrown around a lot. And, I mean, when you mess with a top 5 player and Luka Doncic, and he doesn't really carry himself like that. He's a kid, bro. He's like 22, 23. So, like, 23. We're talking about he's in year 4, bro. This man still got, like, 10, 15 years left of greatness.
Yeah, it's stupid.
when you mess with him and, like, take the ball away from him and you say the Luka special and there's so much other shit going on that we don't know about, especially from, like, Devin Booker, who he sees and it's like, yo, this dude's not better than me. Like, he has a great player next to him. That's why they made the finals. And there was other reasons why they made it too. But he probably felt some kind of way. Like, everyone acts tough when they up. And, bro, they poked the bear. And Luka was just giving them 40 every night, dog. Like, it was nothing.
Yep. And then the other game 7 game, not too much to break down other than, Bucks were what? Were they up 3-2 at one point?
Yeah.
Up 3-2. Bucks at home. A lot of talk about not having PJ Tucker, not having Chris Middleton because of injury, not signing PJ Tucker to be clear in the offseason. And, they didn't get it done, the Bucks. So the Celtics, shout out to them. I hate Boston.
Yeah.
I don't enjoy Boston. Anytime the city, the state, the region of New England and Boston are happy. But sometimes when it's deserved, you gotta pay that respect. So they went through my Brooklyn Nets in 4. They went through the Bucks in 7. So they have a great mix of crushing a team that was finals bound and then going through the fucking grind of getting through another team that was bound for the finals. Yeah. So and the defending champion. So nothing but shout out to them. I'm in not a conundrum, but like it's always like I always root for the Heat because I live in South Florida, so it's always more fun if Miami teams and Florida teams win. But I also have to deal with you guys, and you guys are not enjoyable in group chat sometimes. So it is what it is. You take the pros and cons, but I'd much rather the Miami Heat go through where I live and who I have friends of that I care about, and I care about their mental health and their passions as much as, maybe not as much as mine, but way more than Boston Celtics. So I will be rooting for the Miami Heat like I did against the Philadelphia Sixers, which I love that they won. I wish it was a sweep, but it wasn't. And now I'm excited to watch full on because I think with the Bucks Celtic series, I was going back and I found myself watching it, but like not.
I didn't really watch that series, to be honest.
I didn't know who I wanted to win. When you go into a series, you're like, oh, I would like this.
You're telling me.
But then when you watch a game, you find yourself pulling for the other team. You're like, why do I want them to win? It's just like a feeling thing. I didn't know who I wanted to win that Boston Bucks, but obviously both of those teams eliminated the Nets. So it's good that the Bucks came up short because fuck them. Crushed me last season. They had me like fucking crying in my living room. And then fuck Boston. They had me crying in a hotel in Ohio. So let's go fucking Miami Heat. So that's all I'm saying about basketball.
I want to say this real quick because it needs to be said. And I hate talking about it because this is all like podcasts talk about and ESPN talks about and everything like this. But y'all motherfuckers need to appreciate greatness and not take LeBron James for granted. This dude went to, what was it, 10 straight finals? 10 straight finals. So now
Mm-hmm.
your casual NBA fan thinks that shit is easy. Oh, why didn't Giannis get back? Oh, Giannis is supposed to be the best player. Like, oh, he can't make it to his conference finals. Same shit with the Suns. Oh, what do you mean? They just lost to a 6 seed, whatever the seed the Mavs are, 5, 6 seed. I think they're
Whatever it
fifth.
is, don't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, Braun was doing this shit in Cleveland.
Yeah.
When he was 22,
with most of those
with
teams
nobody.
being with no, yeah, bro.
With no
second
Mo Williams
best player
and
is Ilgauskas, and that's
Big Z,
crazy.
yeah.
It's crazy to say then and now. Like your second best player is a center that is limited on defense and offense. That's nuts.
Yeah. So, the Bucks are a great team. Losing PJ Tucker was huge for them. Not having Chris Middleton to get any kind of bucket was huge for them. And shit, shout out to Celtics, bro. Like they, I don't know, bro. Like they got a rookie head coach. Jason Tatum is coming into his own. Jaylen Brown's doing his thing. This motherfucker hit 7 threes yesterday, the tied for most in Game 7 history. Like that shit's nuts. Marcus Smart playing his ass off. I didn't know who I wanted to play. I kind of would have rather played Milwaukee just because, I don't know, just get them back after a sweep from last season. But
yeah,
Boston's good,
get
bro.
your revenge again. You'll double down on that. How people were throwing shade at the bubble games. Now it's another repeat of the
they
Eastern
said the
Conference
bubble
final.
was a fluke, and now look who's back
go.
in the Eastern Conference Finals.
2 years later. It's not like 5 years later. Both teams have a similar core. Different different coaches on Boston side, different philosophy, but same core of team. It's not like Boston went out there and got 2 super free agents. It's not like
I
you
feel
guys
like
did the same. You got
all
one.
4 of those teams left are built very, very similar.
Yeah.
Those
and I like that.
teams.
That's good for the NBA. It's good, and I say that unbiasedly where, the Nets have gotten superstars.
I think we're a lot better than we were in 2020. Like,
I'd argue, yeah, for sure. I think so too.
Oladipo and PJ Tucker
that's
and like
without
our
a
role
question.
players.
That's without a question, for sure.
Heat in 6.
Switching over to other Game 7s, we will not expand on this a lot, but I thought I'd mention it because I watched a lot of it. NHL playoffs, I had it in the lab on the.
They went into overtime too, right?
NHL playoffs went from the third TV on the little 32-inch to the fucking second TV. Yeah, they were getting most of the juice for these Game 7s.
What, it took over baseball?
There was no baseball playing. Yankees were being played in between, but good thing they played at different times. But shout out to Florida Panthers. I'm a Florida Panther fan.
Hey.
I got approved. My application got accepted by Zoe over the weekend. I submitted it.
Nice.
I gave him reasons. I gave backing, and I'm all in. Usually I'm a homer, New York all the way. So I looked at the Rangers. I could jump on the Rangers bandwagon too, and I could have jumped on it years ago. But they're owned by Dolan, who owns the Knicks, and I don't fuck with the Knicks. I don't fuck with Dolan. They're out. New Jersey Devils. They're New Jersey. They played in the same arenas that the New Jersey Nets played, but never really felt anything about them. They would need to have, wanted to pursue me more, I guess. And then I got the Islanders. I could have went with. The Islanders played at the Barclays. They're like kind of the misfits. They have a legacy back in the 80s or 70s of winning. But guess what? Florida Panthers, they're a 30-year-old franchise, so they're still new. I'm not jumping on a bandwagon, really. I'm jumping on it while they're hot.
And you live like 10 minutes away from there. You're close.
That's what I mean. Yeah, exactly. I'm here. So it's like one of my first professional, maybe Inter Miami is my second and first Miami. But they're in the running if they could prove themselves. So Florida Panthers are my team. Going to Game 2. Bought tickets today.
Nice.
Going with a couple people. I was looking on my my timeline. And all of a sudden, half the people I knew were at Panthers
Everyone's
games
at the
series.
Panthers
So I'm like, what the fuck? Let me go to a game. So obviously, they went out in 6. The Rangers go 7. That was a great series with the Penguins. I call them the Bruins in a group chat. That was funny. I was very high, dude. I was so fucking. I told you we FaceTime right
Yeah, I
before
wanted
that.
to say something. I'm like, yo, cut my boy some slack.
Nah, I don't even care because I know me, and it's like, nah. I would say that if somebody was next to me, and I'm glad I said it in a group chat because like that's exactly what I would say
Fuck
in
it.
if in person. But yeah, that edible hit immediately after we hung up. Yeah, Rangers advanced. That's fun. Always good for New York. New York Giants were in full effect at that Rangers game. The Garden's always electric, so that's always fun to see, whether I hate them or not. And then yeah, you have other couple games, Lightning, da da da. Either way, I'm locked into fucking hockey tomorrow. Panthers, Lightning, Blues, Avalanche, 7 p.m. for
Rematch.
the Panthers. I'm gonna be rematch of last year. I'm gonna be locked into that Panthers game. I'm all in. Once I buy tickets for your playoff game, because it's an investment. You got to put in effort. You got to get drunk before, during.
Yeah.
It's a whole event. You're not just going to a
Panthers
regular
games are
season.
fun though, bro.
Oh yeah, dude. I
That
was
shit is
seeing
so
them.
fun. Just like regular season games. I haven't been to a playoff game, so I can only imagine, dog. Like that atmosphere is crazy.
I got no Panthers merch, but after tomorrow,
Ah,
motherfucker, I'm gonna be head to toe.
what you getting? You don't get that jersey? What you gonna get? You gonna get
Nah, I'm
a
probably just
polo,
I'll probably get a hoodie,
a
maybe a
hoodie?
hoodie and a hat. Because think about it, I've gone to like 5 or 6. I've gone to like 4 or 5 games already. I've sat front ice, at the glass once, and then I sat in the suite a couple times, and then one time
Yeah,
we went. So I got a good, I put a good investment in the Florida Panthers more than any
for
other
sure.
NHL team. So I figure buying a hoodie, because you're always going to go to a game, no matter, even if it's warm out, it's still cold in the arena.
Still cold in
Buying a
there. Yeah,
hoodie and a hat. And I was told
solid.
via email to wear red, so I got to rock red.
They be seeing red. Yeah, they be chanting red whenever they do the Star
Yeah,
Spangled Banner.
I
They
love that.
scream red. Yeah,
I'm gonna be hype.
I know you're gonna be
To
hyped.
that next level. We support we support all the pussies out there.
My friend from
Cats
high
and
school be
Panthers.
singing the national anthem for some of the games.
Who?
My friend from high school, she'd be singing the national anthem for the Panthers
Oh,
games.
with Amanda Vance.
Yeah, good old
I see
Aaron.
that. Yeah, I see it. I see it. Shout out.
Book a high on the map. Book a high on the map, baby.
Yeah. So that's your hockey talk. So if you listen to hockey, I'm glad we were able to give you a little something. What else we got? Let's wrap this up. We've been keeping episodes short to keep things concise, keep things listenable for you, keep it under an hour. So I think we've done a good job with that. You read off some things, and I got a couple things, but if you read off some news, some shout outs, some whatever you got, hit me with it.
Some funny shit I saw. Albert Pujols pitching. That was fucking weird.
Yeah, I don't know if that's good for baseball or bad for baseball, but we'll just keep it at
He was
that.
throwing
Next.
54 to 64. Yeah. No,
I'm just fucking.
Not cool. Yeah, not cool. Shit. One thing I kind of wanted to touch on that's been big in the news, been big on social media the last few days, last day or two, honestly, is that shooting in Buffalo. Man, I saw that video, bro. Like I saw a full minute video of it, and that shit is.
Oh, I didn't
tough
see
to
that.
watch,
Send that to me
bro.
when you get a chance.
You sure you want to watch that, bro?
For
I
mean, we're on air, but I'll
you.
tell you, I watch everything and anything, whether it's
I'll send
war,
it to
shooting.
you, man.
I'd rather know what life is really about, and I don't mind seeing the ugly, not to glorify it, not to like be fine with it, or whatever, just to understand. So
yeah. Usually, like I'm cool watching that kind of stuff. Not cool like whatnot, but like I'm all right watching that. I got no problem.
Yeah.
But man, like bro, like these people were just shopping.
Mm-hmm.
Like they didn't wake up that morning and be like, obviously, like death always comes at us, like shit like that, like comes out.
Not when you try to get some food just to like feed your family or feed yourself. Like what?
And like, dog, like you don't think about that kind of shit. And the craziest part is that's in New York, like one of the states with the strictest gun laws. Like, granted, it's upstate,
the
Buffalo,
state of New York,
whatnot.
Buffalo, yeah. Just to put it, for people that don't know.
But still, man, like that shit is sad, bro. Like, I don't know how like someone can just go out and like do that kind of shit in cold blood. Like, I can't fathom that through my head. Like, it doesn't really matter what kind of shit you're going through. Like, there's so many ways to deal with stuff rather than going out and ending people's lives in the middle of the day, bro. This dude was 18. Like, just,
That's wild. And I heard it was
bro.
in a more. It was a white male in a more predominantly, black area
Yeah,
or black victims.
that shit was definitely racial. I don't want to get into it, but I mean, he had
Mm-hmm.
it written on his gun. Like,
Yikes!
we get into the should civilians have these kind of guns? Should they not? Like, I'm very pro gun right. I have a
Right. The
gun.
only the argument there is if somebody had a gun that was walking in the store, they could have
Yeah.
maybe
But
ended
there's not
him
much you're gonna
before. I
do
know.
against
I
that
know.
kind of gun, you know? But it's just still like so fucked, and like,
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know, man. It's sad, bro. It's really sad, and like, my prayers go out to the family and just like the city of Buffalo. And we get caught up in that kind of stuff, and we want to like say terrible things about the person that did it, but I mean, prayers to them too, bro. Like, I don't care what kind of backlash I'm going to get, because obviously that kid is going through some shit that he had to do that. Whether it be he needs attention, whether it be he's not
Uh-huh.
like getting whatever, that just like
Yeah.
he's got his own shit going, and he needs some help too. Like, I don't know, it's all fucked, man. We need to really figure it out. We're all people, we're all human. Like, we gotta just be together in this kind of shit and just keep building up, not killing ourselves and going backwards, because shit ain't getting any better. So,
Nope. Definitely not. So, I appreciate you bringing that up because that's something that happened after we recorded 22 as well, and that kind of dropped during the week. And obviously, some people might have forgotten about it, but let's be honest, it's not good, not acceptable. But mass shootings have been up. I seen numbers that there's more mass shootings in the last 5 years than before the 2000s.
and
You know
like,
what I
this
mean?
kind of
Like
shit
it
doesn't
just
happen in
every
other
year it's just
countries,
wild.
bro.
Oh, it don't
It does.
happen. No,
It
it's
only happens
so.
here, dog. Like, what the fuck we got
What are we
going
doing
on,
then?
dog? Like, we're
The
doing something
question.
wrong. Like,
Yeah, we are.
something's wrong.
We're doing
Like,
something wrong for
and
sure.
and in other countries, they probably got like way stricter gun laws than we do.
Well, whatever it is,
or whatever
whatever.
it is, way looser.
Yeah, I'm not
it
gonna.
doesn't matter. Like, that
Yeah, I'm
shit's
not
not
gonna sit here
happening.
and
Like,
act like I know what I'm talking about with
you
the
don't hear that
laws
shit in
and.
Canada. Like, motherfuckers ain't doing mass shootings in Canada. Like,
Yeah,
they doing that shit. Like, bro, that's
if
fucked up, dog. That shit's stupid, dog. Like,
if it's not the laws, it's definitely the way we go about society. So we got to figure it out, be better, because if the stats are showing that there's more mass shootings in the last 5 years than in the previous 1900 century, like that's alarming, bro. So at the end of the day, we got we got to fucking figure shit out. And it's all cool when people be like, oh, we'll donate, and thoughts and prayers. Like a lot of people be saying, that's why I don't try to say it as much. Thoughts and prayers, just throwing it
the
out there,
thing,
because a lot of people be throwing that out, and I know you mean that sincerely, but like me, I'm just not, because it's like a thing that people say and then they move on with their life, and it's a
yeah,
thing that a lot of these people in control of what we're talking about say too, and they don't do shit about it. So it's
yeah.
like, all right, something's got to give.
The thing with me is we wait till after shit happens to take care of it. Like, why? Why are we waiting for some bad shit to happen to try and fix this? Like, do it before, bro. Like, figure that shit out. Like,
Yep.
we got all these resources and all this money that we're just printing out of nowhere and doing whatever the fuck we want with it, instead of doing what's right for our country and putting it right back into here. Like, I don't know, man. It's just a third world country now, dog. Like, I'm not gonna get into like politics and any of that kind of shit, but it's bad out here, dog. It's bad out here. Like, I'm so blessed that like I got a job, a roof over my head, and I just know what I'm doing. But like,
And you got that thing on you just in case.
I got that thing on me. Shout out Georgia, bitch. Conceal carry without a license. So if you take that shit out, you better use it, motherfucker. You better use that shit, because you're not
to
pulling
make
that
it
shit out
lightly,
for
but
show.
shit.
Yeah, bro.
All right, well, just to rise it back up, I got a couple things. Tom Brady got a deal.
Paid.
TV deal. He's making more money than Jim Rome. Apparently, Jim Rome makes $30 million a year. Didn't know that was possible. Haven't seen him on television
I used
for
to love
myself.
Rome is Burning, though.
Right? Rome is
I
Burning
used to
back in
love that
ESPN
shit.
like at 5 o'clock, 4:30. Haven't
So
seen him
fire.
on TV since, and that was like 12 years ago. But Tom Brady, now that's the new thing. Over here, what is it? McVay is getting McShay or McVay,
Which one?
the coach for the
For
Rams.
who? Oh, McVay.
McVay.
Sean McVay.
There's a lot of names. You know how it be.
I
Yeah.
got you.
So he got a deal. He declined it. Went to being back to being a head coach. He'll still have that deal probably available because he's a genius. And then you got Tom Brady. You got Tony Romo getting these massive deals, and that's the new way. I think nowadays the media knows and feels like, shout out JJ Redick on First Take. The now media is understanding the fan, and they want to hear former players talk about the game. Not the old way was news people that wrote articles, right? That was the thing in the 90s and the 2000s, because that was when the TV and media blew up in the 90s and 2000s. It was all newspapers, whoever wrote columns and were on TV. Now it's athletes. Draymond Green got a deal for TNT. He's still playing. You're going to start seeing that. That's going to be a regular thing.
The
Whether
fucking
it
Manning
takes away
cast.
Manning cast, whether it takes away from their play or gets them distracted, that's not even a conversation. These guys are locked in when they're playing basketball. They're not like they're doing their TNT thing on Saturday, and they can go play a game on Sunday and still perform. Like let's not pretend these things are tied together. But shout out the athlete. Not only are they getting paid and getting money in the game that they play themselves, but they're making money outside. And that's what we always talked about. When guys retire, where do they go? Media is now blowing up. Now the media is, within this next decade, you're going to see, you see with Pat McAfee and all these people, like former athletes, just taking over podcasts and media, and good for them, because a lot of these fucking newspaper people, Stephen A. Smith, they just talk out of their ass. Nick Young, what's his name? Nick, whatever.
Nick Wright.
He's talking out of his, like Draymond said, they talk it out the side of their neck.
Yep.
They don't know what they're saying. They're just saying opinions. They're saying things for shock value. And that was cool back in the day. Now people want quality, and I love that. I love that people are starting to get that quality. So shout out Tom Brady for getting a bag before he even retires, because that's $35 million a year. That's nuts.
He's officially the new face of fuck them kids, because
them kids.
This man's been playing football his whole life. He retires. His kids are like, yeah, my dad's coming home. Psych, bitch. Pump fake them. And now he gets the fucking TV contract. Good for him. I think he's going to do well. On the opposite side of that, Drew Brees got let go. NBC didn't like what they got from him. So
he would say the opposite. He didn't like what he got from them. Right. So you never know. Somebody's got to be right or wrong in this situation.
Right. But hey, I'm excited to see Brady when it happens. Brilliant football mind. Like that's what we need, bro. We need former players, because you're not going to get better insight than from anyone else. Like, bro, I've been watching
talk
basketball.
real strategy, real reasons why somebody didn't get it done. Not an opinion of, I think he's just distracted because of the vaccine. Like, that's not a fucking reason. No, give a real reason.
Yeah, I've been watching basketball and football and sports for 2 decades, but like, I haven't been in the locker room. Like Pat Bev said today, you guys aren't in the locker room. They don't know what's going on for real.
Pat Bev got a lot of criticism from other athletes today.
He was doing
the
too
fans
much.
loved it because it was different, but the athletes didn't like it. They didn't like that they were talking shit with no backing. But hey, at the end of the day, he got an opportunity more than you guys did. So
hey, for real. I'm all for it. I'm all for athletes expanding their brand and making more money, and
for real,
going on and talking. As long as they ain't gonna be like Reggie Miller and Chris Webber, I'm cool with it.
It's funny because we'll end it on this. Kendrick Perkins got caught up, I think, early on in his media, because he was trying to figure out who he is and who he was, and he's still I'm not even gonna like front. He couldn't articulate many sentences consecutively. Like it was tough, like 2 years ago. But I think after he got comfortable, then he still was trying to be what he thought he should be. Shock value, just say things for clout. And then now he's starting to, sometimes he doesn't, but some more times than not, he starts talking like an athlete, somebody that's been in the locker room and like
That's all
with
they got
some
to do,
wisdom.
bro.
That's all you got to do.
They
Be
gotta do.
yourself,
That's
bro.
what
You
we
don't try
want.
to
That's
be
what,
Stephen
yeah.
A. Smith on Stephen A. Smith show.
Yeah.
Like, don't do that.
We
like,
don't
try
want
to be
that.
the
We're trying to
counter.
get away from that shit.
Yeah. And Stephen A. Smith has a time and place, and for sure he's great. He brings great entertainment. And I love the JJ Redick and Stephen A. dynamic, because you got the shock value. You got somebody that's going to say things that probably sometimes true, but then you got the JJ that's going to school them and educate them a little bit. And I love that for TV. It's okay if somebody's wrong or no one's right, whatever it is, but at least having different sides of a conversation is beautiful to watch.
Yeah, I'm happy. That's what we need, honestly. That's what we need, because you ain't gonna argue with the former player. Like, you're not gonna get far with it. Like us as fans or whatnot. Like,
not at all. Any last things? Any shout outs? Any mentions? Things that you want to kind of going into the week that you got?
Shit, man. Nothing
I know
really.
you're hungry.
I'm hungry as fuck, bro. I don't even know what I'm gonna eat. I don't want to like get Uber Eats or anything. I saw that there's a McDonald's like down the street.
Take a walk. Get high and go take a walk.
You might have to do something, but no, I had a long day today, bro. Just like being bothered by people, just like flying. I had the middle row or the middle seat. Shit was not it. Man, and then like the gym wasn't it. Like, it's gonna be a rough few days out here. Hopefully I go do some shit that'll entertain me. I brought my camera, I brought my PlayStation, so I'll be all right. I packed all my vitamins in a little fucking Ziploc bag, packed my protein.
5 P's, baby.
All that
5
shit,
P's.
You know how it goes. Yeah, man. Pretty much it. I'm just still doing the same old shit. Nothing new here.
I feel you. Let's wrap up 23 then. What we didn't get to review or talk about that we didn't touch on that we talked about the other day was Ozark. We'll wrap that up because you just finished that. We'll do that next week. We'll give listeners and viewers another week to
the
finish
next
that
episode
series.
of.
And there was and on Dragon Ball Z, there will be spoiler alerts on that. We'll make sure to put that on a timeline. And I'm going to this week catch Doctor Strange.
I gotta watch that too.
Movies at the matinee. You know me. Get
the matinee.
$8.
Matinee Elvis. Matinee Escobar.
So that's exciting. So that's it for episode 23. Obviously, we didn't have 2 episodes last week like we teased it. We apologize if you were looking forward to that, but we got to work on that. Some things aren't in our control. We're going to make sure, because you guys have heard enough of us probably for consecutive episodes, we like to try to mix it up, bring on a guest, have somebody on, interview. So we owe it to, people who invest their time and energy into changing it up. So let's get in the lab.
If you got something you want to like shout out, if you want to tell the people something you're working on, just DM us and we'll have you on, bro. Like, just for like 5 minutes.
Whatever it is. We'll do
pop
like a
quiz
call
you real quick. Make sure you know what you're talking about and you watch the show, and not someone that just, wants some shit. But hey, go live at the Panthers game, bro.
Ooh. I'll definitely be showing some pictures. I've been trying to, obviously I've been traveling more, doing different things, going to Yankee games and stuff. I got some stickers. I've been dropping them. We got to get you some stickers. So
drop them in the urinal.
I got you. That's episode 23. We'll try to mix it up soon with some guest appearances, some interviews, mixing up. We'll do a better job at booking it. But enter the lab, Elvis Escobar, Fort Salma, exit the lab. Peace.